Hello and welcome back to my channel. Please do not mind the mess. We are in the middle of moving. So it is time for my June picking my TBR. Honestly, May has been one of the fastest months this year. I have had so much going on, so I haven't had a ton of time to read. It is still about 6 days till the end of May. So I have quite a few books that I have not read off my TBR yet. I'm going to talk about those really quick, and then we're going to pick my June TBR. So the two books that I'm currently reading off of my May TBR are Loath to Love You and State of Terror. I just started State of Terror today. I'm like maybe 20 pages in, so my goal is to get through this weekend. And then Loath to Love You is 3 novellas, and I just have not been getting into this. And I have a different romance that I'm currently reading on my Kindle. So maybe when I'm done with that one, I will get into this one a little bit more. I'm on page 29 of this. So I'm not hopeful that I'm going to finish both of these before the end of the month, but either way, these are not going back onto my TBR. I'm going to read these either if it's a rollover to June or if I finish them in the month of May, but we will see. And then the books on my TBR that I did not get to were my rollover from April, The True Love Bookshop, which is the book that my sister picked for me to read. I just have not been really reading that much romance this month. And then Woman of Light, I have not read yet. I still want to get to this book. I'm going to add it back to the TBR, but I might possibly get to it in May still. We will see. So these two are going to go back on the TBR, and as you can see, I have 0 space left. The reason I'm filming this video so early is because I need to pack all of my bookshelves because we are moving at the end of this month. So that's why we filmed this a little bit early, so we don't have as much reading update. But these are going to go back on here, and I think for June, I'm going to pick 5 books. We'll see how many we get to. My hope is that I can get through an entire TBR at some point this year, because I've not been doing a very good job of that, but we will see. So let me add these back, and then we will start pulling 5 books for the month of June. Okay, so I barely fit that on there. Let's pull 5 books and start tackling this TBR. And we are getting down there for prompts, but I think we still have plenty in here to choose from. So, first prompt. Number in the title. Let's take a look. Okay, here are my 2 options. I have Station 11 and Fourth Wing. Station 11 would be a reread for me. I loved this book the first time I read it, and I really want to read it again. And then Fourth Wing is a book I got for my birthday and have not picked up yet. It would be starting a new series, which we all know I need to do that. I don't need to do that, but I think I'm going to pick Fourth Wing because I got this book for my birthday. I really want to read it. And Station 11 I have already read, so let's pick Fourth Wing for number in the title. Okay, next prompt, number 2. Okay, my next prompt is buy a book off TBR wishlist. So I did recently buy some new books, so I'm gonna just pick one of the new ones that I recently bought in like the last couple of weeks. So let me take a look and figure out which one I want to read. Okay, this is the most recent book that I bought. It is the new Stuart Turton book, The Last Murder at the End of the World. I was waiting for this book to come out. I bought it on the day that it released. I'm really excited to read it, so I'm gonna put this one on my TBR because this was on my wish list that I wanted to read, and I recently bought it just this last week. So The Last Murder at the End of the World is a book off my wish list. Looks like so far we're doing hardcover and we are doing long books. Let's see what else we pick. Pick number 3. Oop, I got 2 there. Let's go with this one. Four-word title. Okay, let's count and take a look. Okay, I've narrowed it down to a couple to choose from. I did have more on my shelf, but I think I'm going to choose between these 3. Star in the Storm is a children's book that my boyfriend got me. It is about a Newfoundland in Newfoundland. I think this would be a nice, fun, quick read. So that's an option. I could put the True Love Bookshop back on my TBR for a 3rd month. Could also be an option. And then King and the Dragonflies. Dragonflies is 1 word. It just looks like 2 words here, but it is 1 word. So this is 4-word title. I've been thinking about wanting to read this book recently, so I might put this on the shelf. And this is like a middle grade book. Since I haven't been feeling romance that much, I think I'm gonna not pick this one. I think I'm going to go with King and the Dragonflies. I've really just been thinking about wanting to read this book lately, and I think this might be the month to read it, so we'll add that one on. Okay, pick number 4. First word of the book is the. So I'm gonna have to open up some books and see which ones start with the word the. Okay, that took me much longer than I anticipated, but here's a stack of books that all start with the. So I will read you the first sentence of each, and we'll see what I want to read. The date was April 14th, 1912, a sinister day in maritime history. But, of course, the man in suite 6365 Shelter Deck C did not know it yet. And this is The Devil in the White City, Murder, Magic, and Madness at the Fair That Changed America. So this is nonfiction, and I really like this author. That's a secondhand book that I bought. We could add Woman of Light back to my TBR, which I'm leaning towards, and this one starts off in the prologue with the night Fernández Marisol Ortiz rode on horseback to the northern Pueblo Pardana, a secluded and modest village. The sky was so filled with stars that it seemed they hummed. leaning towards that right now. I just have books everywhere around me right now. I could add Traveling to Infinity, The True Story Behind the Theory of Everything by Jane Hawking. And this one starts, the story of my life with Stephen Hawking began in the summer of 1962, though possibly it began 10 or so years earlier than that without my being aware of it. I'm kind of leaning, again, I'm either leaning towards putting this back on my TBR or towards a nonfiction book, so possibility. I could read Station 11. And the first sentence of this is, the king stood in a pool of blue light, unmoored. I'm leaning away from Station 11. I could read Under the Lilacs by Louisa May Alcott. This one has been on my TBR forever. This one starts, the elm tree avenue was all overgrown. The great gate was never unlocked, and the old house had been shut up for several years. Possibly. And then the last one that I'm picking from is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. And this one starts with like a little blurb thing from the 10 Commandments of Detective Fiction. I'm counting this. So number 1 says, the criminal must be someone mentioned in the early part of the story, but must not be anyone whose thoughts the reader has been allowed to follow. So this is really intriguing me as a mystery. I think I've ruled out Devil in the White City. I don't think I want to read this right now, so I'm going to pop that back on the shelf. I still have all these books that are sitting down here, so we'll put these back up here. I think I'm going to get to this one anyway, so I'm not going to add this back to my TBR. I'm just going to set it off to the side, or add it back on to my June TBR. Now to choose between these three. I think I'm going to go with Traveling to Infinity. I think I want to add some nonfiction on here and make this a little bit chunky. So we'll add those back up there. I think that's all of my TBR back. Ooh, one more. Back on here. I have very much spread all my books out. And finally pick number 5. Last pick. Flowers on the cover. Okay, take me some more looking to find flowers on the cover. Okay, I think I'm going to choose between either Under the Lilacs or Wayward. Under the Lilacs has a lilac bush on the cover, and Wayward has some flowers on and around the cover. I'm gonna read the backs of these and just see what do I want to read. Okay, they both sound good. I think I'm going to go with Under the Lilacs. This has been on my TBR forever. It just seems like a very wholesome read. It's also a classic, and I think it will round out my TBR nicely. So let me just get my books back in a way that they're not gonna fall on me, and we'll go through my TBR for the month of June. Okay, let's go through my June TBR, the 5 books that I'm hoping to get to in June. Book with a number in the title, Fourth Wing. Book off my wish list, The Last Murder at the End of the World. Four-word title, King and the Dragonflies. A book where the first word is the, Traveling to Infinity, the true story behind the theory of everything. And flowers on the cover, Under the Lilacs. So that's a pretty diverse TBR for June, and I'm hoping that it's realistic. I'm still hoping to get a bunch of reading done in May, so you'll see that when I post my May reading wrap-up video. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.